It is another Game 7 here from American Airlines Center in Dallas. One of 4 Game 7. And we are underway here from Dallas. One of 4 Game 7s across round 1 of the NHL. Rantanen a shot, glove down by Gustafsson, no further play. Last night we were in Vegas for a Game 7 between the Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth. It was a good game for the first half of that game until Vegas stormed away with the win in the second half of that game. Heiskanen score! Right away a bullet! 36 seconds into the game and the Stars take the lead! And what a way to start a Game 7 here at home for the Dallas Stars. Heiskanen just let it fly from the point. Somehow found its way in. And Dallas, not even a minute in, has taken the 1-0 lead here early. Kaprizov brings it up, looking to respond. Second shot on goal on that first turn for Dallas. Finds the back of the net for Heiskanen. Zuccarello brings it back up for the Wild. He loses it to Johnston on his way in. Here's Mikko Rantanen. Crowd already electric here at American Airlines Center. Early lead for Dallas here in Game 7. Kirill Kaprizov picked off on the inside by Lindell. Duchesne to the near side, and Rantanen sends it in on net, and it's swatted away. Quinn Hughes has the puck. He's had a quiet series here against the Stars. Here is Foligno. Foligno stops and waits for his friends out in front. Boldy just wide of the net. Heiskanen turns back here for Dallas. Hoxa now up ahead for the Stars. Sends it in out in front, tipped away to the far side. Foligno jumps on it here for Minnesota. He turns it over, and Rantanen can't keep it in. 4 early shots on goal for Dallas, just 1 for Minnesota. Steele brings it back into the zone. Cut off on his way in. Hartman jumps on the loose change. And Foligno back out to center ice. Foligno pestered by Lyubushkin, who takes it away. Here's Foxa. Foxa walks his way in. Good stick by Bogosian. Here's Steele, who can't handle Matt Boldy there defensively. And here comes Bogosian back up ahead. Here's Foligno. Back to Bogosian. Bogosian sends it in towards Ottinger, who stops play. 16:50 to go in the opening period, and already a start that the Stars will be content with. A 1-0 lead here early. In Game 7, winner moves on, loser goes home. Johansson knocked down by Ottinger. The rebound comes in, and he stops that one. Eriksson Ek was right there on the doorstep, and he gets shut down by Jake Ottinger. Face-off control by the Wild. Johansson inside, and Ottinger with another save. 4 shots on goal now for Minnesota, even at 4 in that category. Face-off controlled by the Stars. Rupe Hintz up ahead to Robertson, who crosses the red line. Here's Bork. Bork tried to send it in. Spurgeon takes it away. He takes a hit from Rupe Hintz. Comes back out to Boldy. We're going to get a penalty here on Dallas. And Minnesota is going to go to an early power play here. They call a hold up along the boards on Rupe Hintz. And Minnesota is going to have a chance to tie this game early in this one. Man advantage for the Wild, down 1-0 early in this game here on the road in Dallas as the faceoff comes in on net on Ottinger, who stops play. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Faber. Outside Tarasenko. Inside Hartman now. Blocker down by Ottinger. Heiskanen has the puck. He takes a hit but feeds out to Lindell. Lindell disrupted by Faber on his way back into the zone. Here is Hartman. Hartman dances his way in. A bobble by Johansson. Heiskanen has the puck. And back out to center come the Stars, and they feed it around. Over to it is Quinn Hughes. Hughes pestered by Steele. Floats deep below the goal line in the Minnesota end. Just over a minute to go on the power play. Trying to cut inside is Tarasenko. He couldn't. Dallas jumps on it and clears the zone. Faber jumps on the loose change in their own end. 45 seconds to go on the man advantage. Faber fires a shot. He didn't get all of it, and Ottinger finds it. 38 seconds to go. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Hughes. One-timer by Kaprizov gets knocked down by Ottinger. And Dallas clears again. Hughes gets back to it. Maybe one final push here for Minnesota. Eriksson Ek walks it in. Tried to center himself to the inside. Dallas disrupts, but Spurgeon tries to keep it in. Fires a long shot, tipped off of Ottinger. Goes in down below the goal line. Eriksson Ek now a shot. Smothered by Ottinger as the penalty is about to expire. So we'll get a touch of the puck, and then Dallas will be able to go back to full strength. Minnesota wins the face-off. Faksa downstairs turns it over to Petrovic. Here's Colin Blackwell back for Dallas. As they kill off the penalty, Blackwell got crunched by Zuccarello. Rupe hints into the corner, kicks it back down below the goal line. Minnesota will get it out. Matt Boldy flips it into the zone. Back to it is Petrovic. Eriksson Ek pesters in behind the net. Cross-check will result in a penalty. And Dallas is now going to get a power play here. Eriksson Ek called for cross-checking, and moments after the Minnesota power play killed off by Dallas, the Stars get a power play of their own to look to extend their lead. Hintz will face off against Yurov. And Yurov wins the face-off for the Wild, and they flip it out of the zone. Handled in center by Heiskanen. Rantanen over skates into Trinan's grasp. Trinan gets cut off on his way in. And it comes back out towards the Wild end. Spurgeon gets on it. He'll flip it out of the zone again. Flagged down by Johnston. Heiskanen to Rantanen, who circles into the zone. Centering pass to Heiskanen. Back to Rantanen and right through the crease. Trinan will get it out of the zone, and he flips it down around the boards. Johnston over to get it for the Stars. Comes in on Ottinger, who freezes with $1:12 to go on the penalty. Face-off control by Minnesota. Johansson shot, knocked down Ottinger. A short-handed attack here for Minnesota. Just over a minute to go on the Dallas penalty. Dallas wins that face-off. Just over a minute to go on the power play. Here comes Minnesota back into the zone. A bobble by Johansson. Brodin tried to pick it out. And Dallas will get it out of harm's way. Faber jumps on it at the red line. Picked off in center by Bork. Floating over for Johansson, who takes it away. Picked off by Duchesne now. Brodin takes it away. And an errant pass goes deep into the zone. Another turnover. Trading turnovers here with 30 seconds to go on the power play. Duchesne walks it in. Brings it in wide, trying to float it in towards the net. And Faber gets the puck and flips it down. Race for the puck here. Minnesota's going to get there first. Brodin out in front. Denied by Ottinger. Comes out to Duchesne. Final seconds of the penalty. Duchesne walks it in. fires a shot, kicked aside. Minnesota back to full strength. Duchesne denied, and the rebound comes out to Faber. So both teams now 0 for 1 on the penalty. The crowd booing as Eriksson brings it up. Floats it out to Brodin. Back to Eriksson. Flips it in on Ottinger, who goes up to snare it. 10:57 to go in the opening period. Face-off control by Minnesota. On the point, it's Middleton. Tarasenko now a shot. Easy save, Ottinger. 10:47 to go in the opening period. Lyubushkin works it in the Dallas end, turns it over. Bogosian takes it in. Lyubushkin disrupts it before it gets in on Ottinger. Hinstroza now blocker down by Jake Ottinger. Down below the goal line in the trapezoid, Hinstroza. Back out to the point in Bogosian. Hinstroza now turns back, tried to load it up, ran into his own guy. Wild keep it in. Bogosian kicked away by Ottinger, and the rebound controlled by Lundqvist. In down below the goal line, Dallas takes over. Close to the near side. Minnesota keeps it in briefly. And Tarasenko gets it into the corner for Hartman. Hartman to the point in Bogosian. Bogosian loses it to the slot, and Dallas takes over. Lyubushkin takes the hit. Dallas finally gets it out to the pleasure of the crowd here at American Airlines Center. Eriksson turns right back in. Here's Sturm, fresh off the bench. Heiskanen takes it away on his way in, and Ottinger disrupts that shot attempt. Lyubushkin pinned along the boards by Sturm. Eriksson escapes, and right through the blue paint it goes. Into the corner. Picked off by Robertson, and it floats back. Minnesota on the attack. They're out shooting Dallas 16-6 here in the early going. But Dallas, the team with the 1-0 lead. Heiskanen brings it into the zone. Fires a shot, saved, and it goes into the corner. Oldie jumps on it here for Minnesota. Middleton now with the puck in their own end. Middleton crunch, turns it over. Robertson to Bork, in alone, and Gustafsson makes the save. 8:06 to go in the opening period. We're over halfway through now here at an excellent first period from Dallas. Game 7. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Dallas controls the faceoff on the point, a one-timer blocked out in front. Getting in the way was Kaprizov. Battle for it into the corner. Faber now back down behind the net. Kicks it out to Quinn Hughes. Hughes to Zuccarello on the near side. Up ahead, Yurov. Loses it into the corner. Lindell gets there. Yurov escapes. Takes it over. Hughes pestered. Floats it back deep. And Dallas jumps on the puck. Colin Blackwell now sends it around the boards. First guy to it will be Zuccarello. Brock Faber now picked off by Buck. Heiskanen. Good block out in front. Lindell with it on the point. Down low, Heiskanen avoids a hit and denied by Gustafsson. Face-off control by Dallas. Petrovic feeds it into the slot. Faksa. Back out to Petrovic. A shot goes wide. Inside pass. Bach on the backhand. Didn't get all of it, and Gustafsson finds it. Another stoppage. 6:34 to go in the opening period. Face-off controlled by by Minnesota rather. Dallas jumps on into neutral ice. Foligno can't handle it. Minnesota back on it with Foligno. Sturm pestered. Harley jumps on it. Here comes Harley. Inside to Blackwell. Gustafsson knocks it down. And it comes in off the side of the cage. Gustafsson tried to find it. He couldn't. And a bobbled pass goes out to neutral ice. Faksa circles his way back in. Brings it in wide out in front. Bodies flying, and it goes wide of the net. Treinen jumps on it here for the Wild. Tried to feed it in. Bothered from behind by Faksa. Rope Hintz up top. Petrovic with a bobble. Back to Hintz. Harley now walks it in behind the back to Johnston. Tried to square his body. Body's flying in the slot. Johnston back out to the point. Petrovic. Tip try out in front. Johnston. Gustafson with the save. And Stroza now jumps on it out to center and Trinan, who clears the zone for Minnesota. Under 5 minutes to play here in the opening period. Still 1-0 Stars. Quinn Hughes to Trinan. Score! Trinan gets it past Ottinger. And there's the equalizer. Tied at 1 in Game 7. Beautiful hustle by Quinn Hughes to get to the loose puck. Then he flips it in out in front. Trinan gets it past Ottinger for the game-tying goal. .435 left in the opening period, tied at 1 in Dallas. Off to a good start here in Game 7. Boldy right back in, pestered on his way through, goes down below the goal line. Lindell there defensively for Dallas. Johansson off the boards, picked off by Rantanen. Johnston takes a hit for behind. Eriksson Ek with it, brings it into the zone and loses it. Rantanen brings it up here for the Stars. Weaves his way into the zone. A bobble taken away by Middleton. And Minnesota gets it right back out with Boldy. Boldy pestered, keeps it alive. Works it in down low. Boldy out in front. Ottinger the save. Faceoff sits on the dot for a moment. Lyubushkin escapes with the change here for the Stars. Lyubushkin off a skate. Quinn Hughes got in the way. And Minnesota back out to center ice and Tarasenko. Tarasenko fanned on the shot. Earn takes it away from behind. Down deep into the Minnesota end. Quinn Hughes gets there first for the Wild as they work it in their own end with under 3 to play in the first period. Brock Faber weaves his way in, fires a shot. Ottinger, the blocker, saved down below the goal line. Faber. Tarasenko now to the point and Hughes. Inside Hartman. Faber with a bobble. Works it down into the trapezoid. Lyubushkin disrupts. And a shot goes off of Ottinger and goes away to the near side. Lundqvist now in the corner, pestered by Hughes. Steele picks out the loose change for Dallas. And they get it out of the zone. Hughes takes over at the goal line off the boards to Faber. Eriksson Ek now, taken away by Heiskanen. Just over a minute and a half to go in the opening period, tied at 1. Eriksson Ek circles back. Lyubushkin takes it off his stick and sends it all the way down. This should be icing, and it will be. $1:17 to go in the period, tied at 1, up to a great start here in Game 7. Colin Blackwell off the dot. Mikko Rantanen. Rantanen cuts inside and Gustafson snares that one. Face off here in the Minnesota end with 1 minute to go in the period. Heiskanen off of Gustafson. Heiskanen has the lone goal tonight for the Stars. Came early in this game. Robertson walks it in outside Hintz. Hintz feeds it in deep down below the goal line and Bork. Out in front, picked off by Middleton. Here's Kaprizov. Outside Zuccarello. 25 seconds to go in the period. Urov with a bobble. And Lindell takes it away. 15 seconds to go. Robertson walks it in. Fires a shot. Swatted aside by Gustafson. Faber jumps on it back out to center and Kaprizov. One final push. Kaprizov knocked down by Ottinger out behind the net and he runs out of time. Excellent start to Game 7 here in Dallas. We're tied at 1 after 1 at American Airlines Center. Back here in Dallas for the start of the second period, tied at 1 apiece in Game 7, go-home game for both of these teams. And we are back underway to start the second. Trying in the goal scorer in that opening period for Minnesota. Heiskanen was the goal scorer for Dallas, tied at 1. Faber jumps on it back in neutral ice, poked back deep into the zone. Urov back in, avoids a hit. Urov fires, glove down by Jake Ottinger. "35 seconds gone by in this second period. There's Quinn Hughes. Just one goal this postseason for Quinn Hughes to this point. Turnover, Zuccarello denied, rebound. Zuccarello overskates it. Zuccarello keeps it alive down in the trapezoid, at least briefly, before Lindell jumps on the puck. Here's Rantanen. Duchesne pestered to the far side. Jumped on by Brock Faber. Urov now knocked to the ground. And Kaprizov has it, trading turnovers in center ice. Urov pestered on his way in, floats in deep for Heiskanen. Turned over to Johansson. Johansson out in front, picked off by Lindell. Still a loose puck. Ottinger the save on Matt Bolding. Urov now down low. Gets away from Lindell. Over to Boldy now. Out to the point, and Hughes blocked out in front. And it comes back out to center, where Minnesota can't clear. Gustafsson feeds it to Spurgeon. Boldy now will walk it back in here for the Wild. Jumped on by Johnston. Rantanen now crunched in neutral ice. Quinn Hughes walks it in. Drops it off for Johansson. Floats it in down below the goal line. Heiskanen there for Dallas. A turnover. Hughes disrupted by Heiskanen, now disrupted by Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen walks it in, disrupted from behind by Foligno. Here's Johansson. Johansson centers to Boldy, who whiffed on the shot. Labushkin with a good stick. 3 minutes gone by here in the period. Already action on both ends of the ice. Steele down low. Robertson back to Steele. Out in front now. Faksa, they score! Tic-tac-toe down below the goal line. And Dallas regains the lead in Game 7. Dallas back on top, 2-1 our score. Bork rings it right back in, tried to feed it in down low. Middleton with a good stick to prevent that. Tarasenko feeds it around the boards. Over for Hinstroza, out in front Tarasenko, back to Hinstroza in the slot, down low Hartman, denied by Ottinger. Hartman keeps it alive for Middleton, a shot off the body. And it comes back out to center ice and Robertson. Robertson brings it in wide, looking for the trailer, out in front, hits. Denied by Gustafsson. Right there on the doorstep on Ottinger, just closed the door as Hartman looked for the equalizer. And then the one-time try, Gustafsson with the glove on this side. Two to 1 Dallas, early stages of the second here in Game 7. Face-off control by the Stars. Harley squares it up. Gustafsson with the glove down. Face-off here again in the Minnesota end. Dallas wins another one. Into the slot, Gustafsson gets over to make another save. Earn tried to send it in on Gustafsson, couldn't find the puck, and now here's Steele. A bobble by Earn down low below the goal line. Good defense by Steele. Foligno jumps on it now, back out to center ice and Trinan. Gets around one man, sends it in on Ottinger, who swats it away. Lundqvist gets to the puck and back out to center it comes, and Earn, who sends it in around the boards. Sturm first guy to it. Brodin now working it in their own end, and now out to center with Foligno and Trinan. Trinan working with Foligno, and Ottinger blockers that one down. Trinan crunched along the boards, and it comes back out to neutral ice. Spurgeon pestered. Floating puck to Brodin, turned over. Good stick by Steele. Floats it in on Gustafsson, and it gets swatted away at the last moment. Here's Spurgeon. Head of steam up the boards, drops it off for Yurov. Outside Tarasenko, denied by Ottinger. Harley jumps on it here for the Stars. Petrovic with a bobble. Bach now through center ice, feeds it, or at least tried to feed it in. And Spurgeon jumps on it for the Wild. Here's Brodin. Brodin fires. Ottinger swats it away to the far side. Yurov down low, takes it in on Ottinger. And it goes off the side of the cage and back into the trapezoid. Bork now through center. Two Wild back. Bork drops it off for Harley. And he's denied by Gustafsson. The rebound comes out wide. And Brock Faber jumps on it. Here's Hartman. Hartman through center, disrupted on his way in. Lundqvist over to get it. He gets knocked down. Hartman out in front. Oh, what a shot. Oh, what a stop. Jake Ottinger somehow finds the puck. Looked like he just swiped at it and hoped for the best. What a save. The diving attempt by Quinn Hughes on the inside was one thing, but then this one deflected in the air off his helmet, and then he swiped the glove back to snare it. Keeps the game at a 1-goal lead for Dallas. Jake Ottinger showing off his athletic ability. Here's Lyubushkin. Brings it in wide, centering pass, disrupted on its way in. Faber up ahead to Kaprizov. And he fires a shot saved by Ottinger. Kaprizov. Zuccarello back to Faber on the point. Fires a shot. Saved by Ottinger again. Back out to center comes Dallas. Lundqvist to Colin Blackwell, is tripped. And a penalty upcoming on Quinn Hughes, I believe. And it was. Colin Blackwell tripped by Quinn Hughes, and a power play upcoming for the Stars. Dallas 0 for 1 tonight on the penalty. Lead by 1, a chance to add on. Face-off control by the Stars. Heiskanen fires. Save Gustafsson, and the rebound forked wide. Comes out top to Johnston. One-time try. Heiskanen settles it down. Rantanen down low. Hits. Cuts inside. Disrupted. Bobbled in the slot. Minnesota trying to clear. And they will. Boldy feeds it in deep. Earn will start the break in. He loses it to Brodin. Matt Boldy now with the puck. Sends it up to Eriksson Ek. Short-handed. Can't handle it. Just over a minute to go on the power play. Up ahead, Robertson. Centering pass to Earn. Brings it in. Gustafsson the save. Rebound out in front. Gustafsson another stop. Face-off controlled by Minnesota, and they clear. 50 seconds to go on the man advantage for Dallas. Heiskanen pestered, but Dallas will get it out. Bork. Near side, Duchesne. Up top, Steele. Back to Duchesne. Off a body in front, loose puck into the slot, controlled by Spurgeon, who clears. Johnston back to it quickly for the Stars. 20 seconds to go on the man advantage. Bork walks it into the zone. Hester down low, Bork taken away by Middleton, flips it up and out of the zone. 5 seconds left on the penalty. And we are back to full strength. Hughes right out of the box. Dallas now 0 for 2 on the power play in this game. Minnesota preserves the 1-goal deficit. Rompe hits. Sends it in deep. Middleton, first guy to it. Blackwell takes it away out in front. Score! It's a 2-goal lead for Dallas. 3-1 our score from American Airlines Center, Game 7. Gustafsson looked like he was losing his footing as he was trying to find where the puck was. Couldn't get back in time. The goal for Dallas, 3-1 our score here from American Airlines Center. Johnston picks it up in center ice off the faceoff. 2-goal lead for Dallas here in the second. Petrovic jumps on it in the Dallas end. Off the boards to Duchesne. Outside Rantanen, Bogosian with the pickoff in center. Up ahead, offside, Minnesota. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Flipped in deep to the Dallas end. 2 stars back. Zuccarello gets there, though. Lindell, right through the crease there. And back out to center. Here's Buck. Tried to feed it into Blackwell on the doorstep. Disrupted and found by Gustafsson. Just over 8 to play. Second period. 2-goal lead now for the Stars. Face-off control by Dallas. Heiskanen denied Gustafsson. Face-off control by Dallas. Lindell outside Heiskanen. Off of Gustafsson, I believe. Circles well wide. Here's Lindell back to Heiskanen, bobbled in the slot, loose puck available, kept out. Gustafsson holds his ground. Minnesota jumps on it, out of the zone, but onto the stick of Lindell. Now Urov takes it away for Minnesota. Kaprizov off a body, the rebound, bobbled in the slot, controlled by Lindell. Hughes on it in neutral ice. Tried to load it up. Here's Instroza. Tarasenko now off a body, and it comes in wide. Foxen now up ahead quickly. Taken away by Faber. Instroza now through center ice. Crunched. Tarasenko walks it in. Bach with good defense. Heiskanen off the boards for Rupe hits. Hester through neutral ice. Here's Lindell. Fires a shot. Gustafsson nearly had it leak through him, but he makes the play. Stars win the face-off. Lyubushkin walks it in. Denied by Gustafsson. Down below the goal line, Minnesota jumps on it. Here's Foligno. Foligno brings it in with a head of steam. Loses it to Earn. And Steele up ahead. Put off by Hughes. Flips it deep into the zone for Faber, who overskates. On it is Steele. Steele circles back to the point. Lundqvist to the outside off the boards to Rakowian. And Foligno jumps on it here for Minnesota. Here's Foligno. Pestered by Lundqvist. Down low, Treinen. Treinen gets knocked down. Foligno on it. To the point and Hughes. Treinen now in the slot, a bobble. And taken away by Dallas. Just over 5 to play in the second. Hughes gets hit hard. And it goes all the way back into the Dallas end. Ottinger finds the puck. Eriksson with the takeaway, but mishandled on the outside. Dallas works it in their own end and now out with Harley. Harley brings it in wide. Works it down low. Errant pass goes all the way through over for Rantanen. Down low, Johnston. Rantanen on the wing, blocked out in front. Johnston to the point, and Petrovic, tip try. And it's denied. The rebound goes off of Gustafsson. Duchesne now taken away by Brodin. And Minnesota will circle out. Johansson loses it down low to Petrovic. Duchesne out to pick out the loose change. Under 4 minutes to go now in the period. Johnston weaves his way to the outside. Johnston whiffed on it. Floats back out to Robertson. Now Rantanen back to Robertson. Harley in the slot. Works his way in, cut off. And it floats out to Kaprizov. 3.5 to go in the period. Kirill Kaprizov brings it in. Stops out wide, down low Zuccarello. Loses it to Robertson. And we're going to get a penalty here on Minnesota. Extra skater in. Faksa denied by Gustafsson. Gets it back down low and the whistle. Third power play of the night for the Stars. Cross-checking is the call. And we'll get a number here in a moment. Zuccarello is going to pay the price. Oh, big hit on Robertson. So another power play here for the Stars, already up by 2. A chance on the man advantage to add on to their lead. They're 0 for 2 tonight on the power play. Johnston, one-timer by Heiskanen, knocked down by Gustafsson. Fed in deep by Minnesota, circling over to Hughes. Hughes with a bobble, Duchesne disrupts. Floats out to the far half wall, and Bork jumps on it. Here comes Dallas. Steal with Heiskanen. Heiskanen tried to feed it in, good cutoff. And here comes Ryan Hartman. Hartman weaves his way to the outside, now back in. A bobbled puck, Johansson tried to keep it alive. Bagassi into Middleton. Middleton a shot, blockered away by Ottinger. Heiskanen jumps on the loose change and back out to Rantanen. Rakowian. Disrupted by Johansson on his way in. Out through center ice. Short-handed for Minnesota. Johansson floats it out to no man's land. Matt Duchesne to Rantanen. A bobble right through the crease. Brodin jumps on it, and back out to center it comes as an air horn goes off here at American Airlines Center with 30 seconds to go in the power play. Blackwell keeps it alive for Lindell. Good disrupt by Middleton. And back out to center ice it comes. Tarasenko up short-handed. A bobble and a takeaway, at least briefly. And back out to center and Bork, who brings it in. Bork sends it in on Gustafsson, who knocks it down. 3 seconds to go on the power play. Faceoff controlled in on net. Gustafsson had to knock it down as Dallas is now 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Zuccarello walks it in on Ottinger. Easy save with 50 seconds to go. Faceoff controlled by the Wild. Tarasenko with a backhanded try. And Ottinger makes the stop. Faceoff controlled by the Wild. Tarasenko again off a body this time. And Dallas will get it out. 30 seconds to go in the period. Robertson cut off by Hughes. Hughes gets to it in the corner, pestered by Robertson. Kept alive by Harley. Hintz now a shot off a body. Rebound controlled by Faber. 7 seconds to go in the period. A turnover. Bork to the near side off the boards for Hintz. Walks it in. Hintz a shot. Gloved down by Gustafsson. And that's how the period expires. Dallas dominated the second. 2 unanswered goals for the Stars, and they have a 2-goal lead as we head to the final period here in Game 7, Round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The start of the third period here in Game 7. The Stars lead by 2 in what is an elimination game for both of these teams. It's win or go home, and the Stars have a 2-goal advantage and a trip to start the period. Another penalty is going to be called on Minnesota. Rantanen got tripped again, and that's going to be back-to-back penalties. Stack them up. Rantanen planted twice. There's one trip, and Zuccarello is going to go to the box. 2 stacked tripping calls, both at the same time, and it's a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes for the Stars to start the third period. Eriksson Ek will bring it out through center ice. Heiskanen flags it down. 5-on-3 for the Stars. Rantanen to Heiskanen, who overskated. Ran out of room on Gustafsson. Faber trying to waste time back behind the net. Robertson back out to Heiskanen. Picked off by Faber. Rantanen spins and fires off of Gustafsson. Minnesota tries to get it out, and they will. Robertson now up ahead. Johnston, Rantanen, a shot. Knocked down off and body in front. Gustafsson sprawls out to keep it out. $1:16 to go on the 5-on-3. As we take a look at the night for Jake Ottinger, who's just been a spectator so far to start this third period, but he has been lights out. Just 1 goal given up. Dallas maintaining a 2-goal lead and a chance to add on. I am not a fan of either team, Brady. Just want to point that out. Not a fan of either team. Out in front, Duchesne, what a stop! Gustafsson keeps it out. And the 5-on-3 will continue. Face-off control by Dallas. Duchesne with a bobble, taken away by Bogosian. And here comes Minnesota, shorthanded, down 2 men. Duchesne turns back, 44 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Bork brings it up, centering pass, in his steal, they score! A 5-on-3 power play strike, and Dallas leads by 3. Gustafsson couldn't keep it out, went right between his legs. And they fought off the 5-on-3 man advantage for the Stars as long as they could. But it was too much to handle. And a 3-goal lead for Dallas in Game 7. Now Minnesota got a lot of work to do here in this third period. Power play continues for 25 more seconds for the Stars. Shorthanded for Minnesota. Hartman with a fan job. Brodin, a one-timer, gloved down by Ottinger. 14 seconds to go on the man advantage for the Stars. Minnesota jumps on it. Faber, Middleton off a body. Johnston pestered. Dallas will turn out of the zone as the penalty is about to expire, and both teams are back to full strength. So a power play goal in that turn for Dallas, turning it to a 3-goal lead. And Minnesota's season hangs in the balance in the next 17 minutes. Minnesota jumps on it in their own end. Brodin hit, but feeds it out to Hinstroza. Back to Brodin. Surrounded by star players. Kaprizov up top to Zuccarello with a bobble. No offside. Kaprizov to the near side and Hinstroza. Back to Kaprizov. Kaprizov, a shot knocked down by Ottinger. Heiskanen recovers the rebound. Back out to center ice. Off the boards for Brodin. And jumped on by Robertson. Taken away by Minnesota. Now back to Dallas. Deep into the Stars' end, Johnston. Heiskanen now on the far side. Feeds Hintz. Foligno there defensively for Minnesota. Tarasenko bobbles on his way in. Trading turnovers back and forth. Rupe Hintz. Walks it in, sends it in on Gustafsson, who knocks it down. Faksa tried to keep it alive. Urov there for the Wild. Still plenty of time in this game, but down by 3 goals is Minnesota. Fed in deep by Eriksson Ek. Lundqvist crunched along the boards by Matt Boldy. Boldy gets knocked down in exchange. Down in the trapezoid, Boldy looking for a place to go out in front. Just wide of the net. Eriksson Ek let it fly. Faksa jumps on it, and back out to center it comes. Fed in deep to the Minnesota end. Middleton takes a hit. Boldy walks it up with Urov. Outside Eriksson Ek. Tried to send it in inside. Good stick by Lindell. Bach jumps on it for Dallas. Back out to center ice. And he floats it softly into the Minnesota end. Just over 14 to play. Regulation time in a 3-goal game. Minnesota gets it out of their end. Kaprizov now Boldy. Boldy back to Kaprizov. Out in front, stick by Lindell. And back out to center it comes. Bach brings his way in, pestered from behind by Kaprizov. Turns back for the Wild. Kaprizov to Boldy now, a shot. Wide of the net. Kaprizov down low, circles back. Kaprizov just through the crease. Ottinger got a piece of it. Back out to the point now. Faber, a shot blocked out in front. Urov now down low. Bogosian, Foligno off of Ottinger. And Dallas survives that turn. Earn brings it back the other way, works it down below the goal line. Circles back to the point, Lyubushkin. Back to Earn, a shot tipped out in front. The rebound comes back behind the net. Minnesota jumps on it off the boards to Urov. Urov out to Bogosian. Bogosian walks it in. He loses it. Didn't get a clean shot off. Goes in back behind. And Dallas with a bobble on the far side tries to gain control. Pindle on the boards. Urov escapes. Cuts inside. Ottinger the save. And the rebound controlled by Dallas. Duchesne. Button hooks back. Drops it off for Bork. On the point, Lyubushkin. Gloved down by Gustafsson. Long time without a whistle there. 11:46 to go in regulation time and a 3-goal Dallas lead. Face-off controlled by Minnesota. Hinstroza walks it in. Drops it off for Hartman. Now Faber inside Hinstroza. Swatted away by Ottinger. Along the goal line, Hartman. Pinned to the boards by Harley. Kicked over to Tarasenko to the point. Hughes Couldn't get a clean one off. Hartman now, back to Hughes, a shot off a body. Hartman now whipped on it. And Dallas gains control on the slot, and they clear it all the way down. It'll be no icing, they wave it off. Here's Hartman. Hartman brings it in wide, looking for a center, and Ottinger gets it on the fan job by Tarasenko. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Treinen loses it. Good stick by Rantanen. Sturm hit hard all on the boards. Foligno back out to the point, and Hughes. Now Faber, a shot off of Ottinger. Dallas jumps on it again. Duchesne back out to center ice. Cross ice to Petrovic. Now Rantanen. Back to Petrovic. Bobble to Faber. Hughes circles back as we're over halfway through this third period. Quinn Hughes up ahead. Denied by Ottinger. Back out to Faber. Inside, they score! What a goal. It's Sturm who puts it in. And the Wild are not done just yet here in Dallas. The initial try, excellent save by Ottinger on Quinn Hughes cutting to the net. Minnesota keeps it alive. Sturm finds the back of the net. And it's a 2-goal game here in Dallas. Quiets the crowd for a moment at American Airlines Center. Just over halfway through this third period, and it's a 2-goal game. Minnesota not done just yet. Here's a turnover. Hintz back out to the point. Now Bork on the wing. Down low, Hintz. Up top, Lundqvist. Lundqvist pestered by Johansson. Watch out. Here come the Wild. Johansson sends it in deep. Off of Ottinger. Johansson pinned into the corner. Good transition there by Dallas defensively after the takeaway. Here's Robertson. Up ahead to Hintz. Cut off by Faber. Robertson keeps it alive, and Gustafsson with the save. Goldie now floats it deeper into the Wild end. Faber gets crunched. Circles around for Eric Sinek, who can't handle. Down low for Hughes. Wild will get it out. Johansson. Circles in for the Wild. Johansson cut off on his way in. Up ahead, Faksa. Faksa brings it in, looking for the center. Works it in down low, cut off by Faber, who gets knocked down. Good defense by Faber there. Hartman up to Boldy out of the zone. Survives a hit, but loses it to Heiskanen. Faksa now here for Dallas. Sends it around the boards, behind the net. Blackwell out in front, good stick by Faber. Been all over the place defensively for Faber on this turn. Tarasenko loses it back to neutral ice. Kaprizov brings it back into the zone. And cutting inside, losing it is Kaprizov off of Ottinger. The rebound, Ottinger sprawls out to find it. We're under 7 to go. Face off here in the Dallas end. Controlled by the Wild, and Kaprizov on Ottinger. Dallas will get it back out of the zone. Fed in deep. First guy to it is Spurgeon. Rodin now pinned, and he floats it out to Zuccarello, who takes a big hit. Kaprizov outside Urov. Urov walks it in to the other side. Zuccarello walks it in. Tip trot puck, and it's denied by Ottinger. Earn now back in center, feeds it around. Back on it is Spurgeon. Pestered by Steele on the trapezoid. Kicks out to the far side, and Urov. Under 6 to play. Big hit and a turnover. Earned to Steele. Couldn't handle. Minnesota back in their own end. 5.5 to go, third period, 2-goal lead for Dallas. Zuccarello to Kaprizov, a shot, score! Oh, a bullet from Kirill Kaprizov, and it's a 1-goal game here in Dallas. A 3-goal third period deficit for the Wild has turned into 1. And we are not done yet in Game 7 from American Airlines Center. Oettinger just didn't react fast enough. A bullet from Kaprizov, 1-goal game, and the anxiety level starting to raise here in Dallas. Sixth goal of the series for Kirill Kaprizov. He leads the entire NHL through round 1. Duchesne, centering pass, and a save by Gustafsson. One-time try from Mikko Rantanen. This has turned out to be an amazing game. Dallas has controlled most of the second half of this game, but Minnesota trying to mount a comeback, down by as many as 3 here in this third period. They're back within 1. Kirill Kaprizov with that goal to make it a 1-goal game. Still plenty of time to play with for both of these teams. Here come the Wild. Hinstroza feeds it in around the boards. First guy to it will be Johnston for Dallas. Rantanen now back out to center, and Lindell, now Duchesne. Duchesne works his way down low off the side of the cage for Rantanen. Tarasenko pesters down low. Over to get it now, Hinstroza feeds Middleton. Big hit and a turnover. Duchesne turned it fired off of Hartman, and Gustafsson finds the puck. 4:17 to play in a 1-goal game in Game 7. Face-off control by Dallas. Heiskanen off of Gustafsson. Treinen jumps on the loose change. He'll turn back for Minnesota. Dallas changes as Treinen feeds it in deep. First guy to it, over skating it, and turned it over to Robertson. Here's Roope Hintz. Hintz, a shot blocked down by Gustafsson. Bogosian jumps on it for Minnesota. Middleton up ahead to Foligno. Now Sturm feeds it into the Dallas end. We're under 3.5 to go in the game. Harley turns back here for Dallas and takes a big hit. Here's Robertson, who gets knocked down as well. Physical stuff happening for Minnesota. Treinen feeds Harley, who takes it away. Back in center ice, Minnesota. Harley with another good stick. Under 3 minutes left. Roope Hintz wasting time. Robertson with a bobble. Here comes Johansson. Ooh, good stick by Hintz. Robertson now crunched on the boards. Turns it over to Johansson. Taking it right back. Trading turnovers in neutral ice. Hinstroza bobbled on his way in, and Oettinger with the save. 2:19 to play in Game 7. Face-off controlled by the Wild. Hughes denied by Oettinger. Just over 2 to play. Robertson with a bobble through center, feeds Petrovic. Outside Robertson, a shot off a body. Hughes with the shot block. Off the boards up ahead to Boldy. We're under 2 minutes to go. Boldy works it in down low. Feeds Hughes. Sends it in, tip just wide. And it goes into the corner. Johansson now down low to Hughes. A shot, tip off of Oettinger, and the rebound controlled by Petrovic. We're under 1.5 minutes to go. Minnesota jumps on it. Johansson circles back in. Taken away by Petrovic. Dallas works it in their own end. Bork to Robertson, out to Lyubushkin. 1 minute to go. Lyubushkin sends it in back behind the net for Hintz. Hintz Pindle on the boards by Faber. Eriksson gets there. 50 seconds left. Off the boards for Sturm. Minnesota should empty their net here, and they will. Extra skater in for the Wild. Sturm works it in down low, circles the net. Back out to Faber, a shot. Knocked down off a body, loose puck, and it comes out wide. Pinned into the corner, 33 seconds left. Urov denied by Ottinger with 31 seconds left. My goodness. This game coming down to the wire. And Minnesota trying to save their season with an extra skater in. Empty net for the Wild. Dallas wins the faceoff. Big hit. Escaping his block. Blackwell now cut off, and it floats deep into the zone. We are going to get one final push here for the Wild if they can get it through. Empty net right in front. Faksa tucks it home. The empty net goal for Faksa. And Dallas, with the dagger, is going to move on to the second round. What an individual effort. Minnesota couldn't get it out of their zone. And Faksa tucks it home to put this game on ice. And Dallas is going to survive Game 7 and win an excellent series to move on. The countdown is on here in Dallas. Empty net once again here for the Wild. But very little time. Blackwell takes it away. Sends it towards the empty net, and he scores! To just put the finishing touches on this Dallas win. Less than a second on the clock. 6-3 now the score. And we'll get a touch of the puck, and the celebration will begin. The Dallas Stars win Game 7 and send the Minnesota Wild home. The Stars are moving on to the second round in the Stanley Cup playoffs. What a series between the Wild and the Stars, but in Game 7, the home team prevails. Dallas is moving on, Minnesota going home. What a season for the Wild, but it comes up short here in the first round. An excellent game. Ottinger did his job in between the pipes. Wasn't perfect, but it's the playoffs. Both of these teams playing their hearts out. Goes to 7 games in the series. And Dallas was the last team standing when the clock hits triple zeros in the 7th game of this 7-game series. What a series, what a game. Dallas moving on 6-3, the final score.